Thank God we're not watching this live. I'm about to have a conniption. You've never seen me have a conniption. You don't want to see me have a conniption. Okay? I'm going to wait for everybody to get here. Leah, I know. Listen, I know I have rebroadcasted it. I'm rebroadcasting right as we speak. Okay, bye. The software on the laptop has once again crashed. I'm actually using Leah's laptop. It's usually crashing on my laptop. Now it's crashing on Leah's laptop. I'm going to lose my mind. Edward, thank God for Edward. He had sent me a giant computer that we were going to try to get to work out. It got damaged in shipping. The motherboard fried. I can't repair it. I have to ship it back to Edward. We are going to get a new system. I don't care how much it costs me. At this point, we're just getting it because I'm tempted to go out to a computer store today. Okay. I can't keep going through this. My heart can't take it. We're watching this. Okay. Live. Thank God I was able to pause it. I'm not crying because I know it's the devil. And I'm rolling up my sleeves at the devil. We are about to watch something epic take place right here. And if you just missed it, you got to go back and watch the other part. And I'm going to leave it, and I'm not combining them. Maybe Patriot Gallery will later. I don't know. Okay? Can't stop me, devil. Can't stop me. Okay? No, I'm not using the Brave browser. What's happening is I use a software that I pay money for that has worked for us for 2.5 years. Without fail, as far as crashing goes. This week it has crashed on me, I don't know, a half a dozen times while we were going live. It's insanity. Okay. I don't know what is going on. Not today, Satan. That's what Leah says. Not today. Thank God this is not live. We're already late. So I'm giving my rant right now. Because now I got to go reshare this everywhere. And I'm getting angry. But that's okay. The devil only comes after you when you're trying to do something good. So I don't want to, everybody, I want y'all to be here because I don't want you to miss out. Keep coming in. Keep coming back. All right. I know on Periscope, it resumes my stream. Doesn't give me that option for Facebook or for YouTube. I know there were more people than this watching. They're going to have to just rewind it. That's all I can say. All right. So yeah, we're not live. All right. Not everybody's here. So we're going to just go ahead and go and they can rewind it. But if you're just picking up on this part of the video, what you missed was we've got the hearing in Georgia. One of the female attorneys for Team Trump, I think she's an attorney, is presenting these timestamp videos where all the counting was going on in Georgia. And then all of a sudden, do you guys remember this from election night? Maybe I just take my time explaining this while other people get back here in the stream. This is just ridiculous. I remember them shutting down the counting in several places on election night. And we're all going, it's 10:30. Why are you shutting down counting? Like, this is election night. You go hard. Like, this is what you do. There's no, oh, we're tired. It's 10:30. I mean, what, you can't pull an all-nighter on election night? Okay. They did it on purpose. So they shut down the counting, right? And then they sent everybody home. And we're watching right here. This is the press. All right. Let me pull this up so I can see that. And that's what happened. I was looking and then you guys were gone. All right. You can't see this very well. All right. But there's people there. There's press there. Right. Then these women are going to, in a second, continue to count as soon as all of the press, Fox News, and the GOP poll watchers, poll observers, that they were not allowed to have meaningful observation to start with. Okay. But they even waited to commit their fraud after the fact. All right. Are you guys with me? I'm going to need some support after this. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, so I think what we can do now is fast forward to about 11. Do you see them? Yeah. Okay, there they walk. They're walking off.
Okay, there they go. They went. There's purple lady there.
But the ladies in yellow are still there.
Ladies in yellow are still here. All right, there's a couple dudes here.
Yes, keep your eyes on the lady in purple and the two in yellow and the woman in the blue apron with blonde braids, because those are the people who stay behind. Okay, so what you're going to see happen at about 11 o'clock is once everyone is gone, coast is clear, they are going to pull ballots out from underneath a table. Watch this table.
Where? I don't want to miss it. It's got to be up here somewhere.
So actually, this will take a few minutes, but we did not know when we first watched this, okay, is it normal to store suitcases of ballots under a table, under a tablecloth? Is that how they run the place? Maybe this is what they've been doing all day. Maybe this is what they're doing under all the tables. So we went back and watched the video as a team of us. We don't see that. What we see is typically you're going to find ballots, you know, back in this corner, or coming in through a door, and then they get moved and circulated throughout the room. And it can get a little confusing because they have these black containers of ballots. They have the U.S. Postal Service containers. But what we were trying to do when we determined that there were ballots being pulled out from underneath this table is, you know, what was the chain of custody? Where did they come from? Who put them there? When did they put them there? We only reviewed this at about 1 a.m. last night for a couple of hours, so we're going to need about 14 hours to watch it carefully because we fast-forwarded through it several times and could not find that particular frame, but here's what we can tell you for sure. At about 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to roll this back and show it to you. There you go. So now they're going to start pulling these ballots out from under this table. This table, the black one, was placed there by the lady with the blonde braids at about 8:22 a.m. in the morning. So she put that table there. So the same person who's staying behind now, the same person who cleared the place out under the pretense that we're going to stop counting, is the person who put the table there at 8:22 in the morning. Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table.
Oh, here comes another one.
Yeah, upper right hand, you see the gentleman in the red. So he just pulled one out.
Oh my gosh.
So what are these ballots doing there, separate from all the other ballots? And why are they only counting them whenever the place is cleared out with no witnesses?
Wow.
Is the question. So these machines can process about 3,000 ballots an hour. You have multiple machines there, and they're there for 2 hours. So you do the math. How many ballots went through those machines in those 2 hours when there was no one there to supervise, to be present, consistent with your statutes and rules, to supervise the tabulation? We believe that could easily be, and probably is certainly, beyond the margin of victory in this race. Because if it's only 3 scanners working for 2 hours, right, that's 18,000 ballots that went through. So we're now at 11:09. There were, in addition to the 4 workers that you see there were 2 other people who were bringing ballots in and out. The gentleman in red that you saw, and then a second person. I can't tell if it's a male or female based on their hair being pulled back in their mask.
We have to be able to identify these people and bring them
that's
in
6
for
total people.
questioning.
And so if we were to sit here for the next 2 hours, what we would see is that this operation just goes on and on and on. They're scanning until about 12:55 in the morning. So we kept the video running. And you know, we can show you the people who gave us the affidavits reappearing at that time, just as they said, around 1 a.m. to find out, are they in fact counting after they told us they would stop working or not? And we will fast forward to that. But have you all seen as much as you'd like to see of what's happening here?
I think so.
I think you basically get the idea.
Unless any member wants
We
to see
get
more.
the idea.
Or you have any questions?
No, let's go ahead.
Okay. So let's fast forward to about 12:55 in the morning.
All right, here we go. No, you don't. No, you don't. Don't That's neat.
Okay, so it's updated to 12:50. You can see these people are still there, up in the upper right-hand corner. Basically, they've wrapped up. This is the end of their operation. They've now completed about 2 hours of unsupervised tabulation of ballots. So now you're going to watch them leave. And let's fast forward to, let's go to 1:30. I think it's between 1:30 and 1:45 is when our two witnesses come back. They had to fight through security to get in there, but they did. And they say in their affidavits that two different people affirm for them that people have been counting from, 10:30 when they cleared out until about approximately 5 minutes before they arrived. And they have the names of those people who told them that. Okay, now we're looking at, 1:42 in the morning. Is there a way to fast forward a bit or make it go a little faster? Okay, there are guys right there in the lower left-hand corner. So they've now returned to State Farm Arena, having heard from the press that they had continued counting because they wanted to see for themselves if that was really happening, which was a complete contradiction to what they had been told by at least one person from Fulton County, who's an employee and spokesperson, and also the lady in the blonde braids we spoke about earlier. And so they see for themselves. And from this, we get the affidavit. I don't know the name of the lady in the blonde braids. They simply gave a description to us, and you can make out clearly who she is based on the people in the film. Lady in the blonde braids, halfway down her back, is the person who yelled out, "Everyone leave and stop counting." I believe Ms. Waller is the spokesperson for Fulton County Elections, who remained behind. The other two people they don't have names for. They just said they were older women.
I can pause this because it's live, and I can say what I want. I don't want to miss a word that she says, so I don't have to talk over her because it's not technically live, right? Here's the deal. I came and I streamed to you guys one of the most snore-fest things, like snore, fall asleep, earlier today with the same sort of committee. There's a different committee, but it's the Senate, all right? Fulton County was supposed to be there, and they didn't show up. Why do you think they didn't show up for questioning? Maybe because they knew this evidence was there.
And one of them had the name of Ruby across her shirt somewhere. And that's as much as they know about who those people were. But so our guys go in, they look around, they ask a few questions, and they leave. It is from their affidavits that we even knew to ask about this. And you might recall that the press reported there was like a supposed water break or water main break or pipe break or whatever, and that this was an excuse for people clearing out of State Farm Arena. It's not clear from the affidavits I saw whether or not that was the reason given by the election official or whether they gave any reason at all. They just said, stop, we're leaving, we'll be back at 8:30. So I don't know if that was a play here or not. Okay, can we back up to 8:22 a.m. in the morning, same frames, because we wanted to know, when did that table get put there? Who put it there? When did the ballots get put there? Who put it there? Okay, so 8:21. You'll notice the table's not there at all. Here it comes. There's the table going in that we're talking about where the ballots were obscured. That lady who's moving it is the lady with the blonde braids. She's dressed differently in the morning, so it took us a while to figure out that's the same person that you see at night with the blue apron on who's yelling for everyone to leave and who stays behind to help tabulate ballots after they've all left. So I can see that she's the one who chose to place that table there, close to the scanners. And so the video is still under review. We need to spend hours reviewing carefully how those ballots got there. But we can tell you that it appears to be an aberration from how the other ballots were handled in that room throughout that day.
Wow.
So That's the gist of it. Do you have any questions?
Any questions? Senator Dean?
Fulton County Chairman Rob Pitts testified in a committee earlier today that the water break occurred at 6:07 a.m. and was repaired by 12:07 a.m. 8:07, 2 hours, 6:07 until 8:07, and that the water main break did not disrupt the work of the whole room. That his example was that if we were counting ballots working in here and the water main break was in the back, or the leak, that we would just simply move out of the way of the leak. But he testified this morning that the leak occurred at 6:07 and was repaired by 8:07
Meaning
a.m.
it could not have been.
From what I'm seeing here, I don't see anybody moving around to avoid a leak.
No.
He did state that the leak was greatly exaggerated and that it was not like wiped out the whole place, but I just thought that might be,
What's that?
I mean, the water leak, according to the commission chairman, was at 6:07 a.m.
I'm told that we have a video that it was a toilet leak and not a water main break. But I know that Mr. Pitt's name was mentioned in one of our affidavits, and our witness says that he was physically present in this room clear up until everyone was made to leave. So presumably, if he was in the room at the time, they made the announcement he would be a witness to that. He was one of the last to leave, but he did leave in front of our witnesses, before our witnesses. Yes?
Senator Parent?
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. We heard from the Secretary of State's office earlier, just a couple hours ago, that they've investigated this repeatedly, that they had a monitor on site the entire time. And frankly, this has been debunked for weeks by our Secretary of State's office.
I doubt he's
What
seen the video.
evidence- Then I think the courts will probably be able to handle this once you present your evidence to them. As I'm aware, there have been about 40 lawsuits dismissed already. And according to the law of the state of Georgia, we do not have the power to submit alternate electors. The provision in the law is quite clear at 21-501F.
Is there a question?
Senator, Senator, we'll ask questions. We'll have a time for statements at the conclusion. If we
Yeah,
want to do
my
that.
question is, the question is, since this has been debunked repeatedly, what evidence can you give to us that counters what our elections officials have presented us with only an hour ago?
You just saw it. Your officials need to watch the video.
What about the fact that they say that they had a monitor there the entire time?
I can't speak for them.
Well, thank you. They did not have the video. They said they had a monitor the whole time. Be quiet.
You're
Okay.
looking at the room.
Then maybe we should invite them back in.
All right. Well, we may need to do that. Senator Tillery, what number are you? Number one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ms. Pick. I just have two questions just to try to follow through and understand this a little better. Thank you for presenting this. Push on for you.
Yeah, get a little closer to it.
Okay, is that better? Thank you again for being here. Thank you for presenting this. I just have two questions to kind of understand it a little better. My first is, I didn't have this before, but when Senator Parent asked, it made me ask, have you been able to figure out where our monitor would have been, or the monitor? Can you point that out
Yes,
to us?
yeah.
Okay, we can't see it.
Okay. And it's easier to see from where I'm sitting, slide in the top left. Can you help me understand where, if that's where, sorry, top right is where the scanners are, where would the monitor be in that screen? I'm just trying to be able to understand it.
Yes, it's very confusing because these frames don't portray that accurately. What the witnesses said is that when they were in that roped off area I just pointed to with the press, not only could they not see a single ballot because they were so far away, they couldn't see those scanners at all. The only reason that they knew the scanners were there is because the election official, Ms. Waller, told them so. So I don't know if that means, and I say it's an enormous room, that there was like a curvature to the room, but that is not a straight shot from where you see where they would have stood to the scanners because they could not see those scanners. Now, other people could, depending on where you were in the room.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a follow-up?
Yes.
The first thing is, when you do find out that information, if you don't mind getting it back to us, I know you will, and thank you for that. The second thing is just more like a chain of custody process.
Excuse me, Senator. I'm getting reports that it's difficult to hear, so you may need to get closer to the microphone. So,
I promise I'm not
hate
doing
to
it
do
for
that.
these guys. I'm doing it for these guys. So
Right,
as long as they
yeah.
can hear me, I'm good.
But a lot of people across the state want to hear what's being said.
On the
We can
second
hear it
question
really
I have,
loud.
and thank you for your answer to that one. Thank you for getting us that. We'll look for the answer back from you. Just a chain of custody question now. If we could clearly see the ballots in the top right screen come out from underneath the table, I could not see that there was a cover on the front of the table until your 8:22 video. So that was very helpful. Is there anything, can you show us where other ballots were coming from? Have y'all been able to figure that out yet? Because I think if they were coming from a different place, obviously that raises even more of a specter of concern or question.
Right. So if you see, again, this is hard to understand where this would be coming from, but
Here it comes. We can't hear. Guys, this is huge.
so there you have the black, I'm going to call it a suitcase, containers for ballots. You also have boxes. Those are being moved around the room throughout the day. So it appears to us they're coming from there.
From the top corner of the bottom left screen, is that?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And from there, they're shuffled around
Right
a
there.
lot. It gets confusing to watch this because, again, you're not looking at a linear representation of the room.
Right.
Where they're not coming from, as far as we can tell, is from under that table or any table.
Right, and it does not look like the top corner of that bottom left screen is concurrent or consecutive or any way tied into the bottom corner of the top right screen. It does not look like those are congruent. We're not seeing them come out of that corner by coming underneath that table, correct?
I don't think we can tell that from the film.
And I'm sure y'all will get more information on that as well. Thank you for helping me just understand that a little bit better. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, was there another question?
Just for the record, we did not receive this video until late last night, and we were reviewing it in the middle of the night last night. So we're still reviewing it. There's still a lot more to review.
Senator